Hi guys, I'm Pearl and welcome on My French Story. Every week you will find here videos to help you improve your French and get ready for your French exams. This week I'm coming to you guys with a grammar video. I'm going to talk about the present tense. So if you want to know how to form the present tense, well, keep watching this video. So the present tense is the first tense you start learning when you start French because it is pretty much a basic tense, but it can be really hard to master it perfectly because you have so many different endings for so many different verbs. So in this video, in the first part, we are going to talk about the different endings. How do you form the present tense? Then in the second part of the video, we are going to talk about some exceptions that you guys definitely need to know. So let's get started. So in French, it's really important to know that verbs are classified in 3 different groups. In the first group, you have verbs that end with ER. In the second group, you have verbs that end with IR and are regular. And in the third group, basically you have all the other verbs. If this notion of groups and verbs it's not really clear for you, please feel free to watch my video on group verbs. I made this full video for you where I explain everything, so please go and check this out. So in the first group, you are going to find verbs that end with ER, like danser, jouer, acheter, parler, etc. So in order to conjugate a verb at the present tense, what you need to do is to get rid of the ER at the end and keep what we call the stem. You keep your stem and you are going to add the proper endings. So I'm going to give you the endings for verbs that belong to the first group. The endings are E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT. So let's take an example, the verb parler. Je parle, tu parles, il, elle parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il, elle parle. This is it. This is exactly what you need to do to conjugate a verb at the present tense. Of course, you need to know your endings. This is the hardest part. Now, let's have a look at the verbs that belong to the second group. So, in the second group, you have verbs that end with IR and are regular, like finir, grandir, mincir, etc. So, in order to conjugate a verb from the second group, what you need to do is to get rid of the IR at the end, keep your stem, and add the endings of the second group. I'm going to give you the endings. They are IS, IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. Let's take an example. The verb finir. Je finis, tu finis, il, elle finit, nous finissons, vous finissez, il, elle finissent. Here you go. Once again, it's a pretty simple process. The only thing you need to know are your endings. Remember your endings all the time. Now let's move on to the third and last category. So in the third category, you are going to find basically all the other verbs. And this is exactly when it becomes tricky. It becomes tricky because you have one category and inside that category, you have so many different verbs. So it's really hard to find the same endings all the time. So for this group, I want to talk about 2 different verbs. First of all, I want to talk about the verb aller. The verb aller ends with ER. So it is supposed to belong to the first group, but aller is an exception. So here is the conjugation. Je vais, tu vas, il, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils, elles vont. See, the stem is changing, the endings are changing as well. So you really need to practice this verb to know the stem and the ending. You also need to pay attention to verbs that end with OIR, like pouvoir, vouloir, devoir. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you still have questions, please comment in the comment section down below. And also, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss anything. That's it for me, and I see you very soon in another video. Salut!